Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the annual Adobe Live Holiday Week. I'm Ben Welch from the Adobe Fonts team and the Adobe Fonts Show, and I'll be your host for the next hour. And this week, each stream, we have an incredible giveaway for you, and my stream is no exception. Wade has just linked my giveaway. It's a template for gift tags in the chat, so go download that immediately if you would like to work alongside me during the next hour, but you can also just download it for later. Thank you so much for joining. I see we have a few people in the chat already. Arshia, Oliver, Robert, Gareth, Penny. Wade is modding for us. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Good to have you. But yes, check out the holiday giveaway. It's also in the description, and Wade linked to it there. It's good to have you. If you are new to the Adobe Live community, please subscribe to Adobe Live on the YouTube channel. And follow us on Adobe Live for the latest updates about streams and everything else. Awesome. So, okay, today we are going to be making some gift tags, and we'll get to that in just a minute. If you're on YouTube and you want to be a part of the chat, come on over to Behance. That's where the conversation is happening, and I'm in the chat on Behance. So definitely come over there and check it out. All right, now before we dive into today's journey topic, the work we're going to be doing, I'm going to just tell you something very important, which is to check out the Adobe Fonts service. If you've not checked it out already, this is going to be important to today's topic and today's exercise, and of course my giveaway. So the template you downloaded is for Illustrator, and it already has some fonts in it. So when you open that in Illustrator, it should automatically add all of those fonts from Adobe Fonts to your to Illustrator if you don't have them already. And so you should be good to go. But if you need to find those fonts, you can of course come to Adobe Fonts, and you might want to use your own fonts. So we're going to talk about this for just 1 second. If you're new to Adobe Fonts, if you haven't used it in a little while, definitely go to fonts.adobe.com. And I just want to point your attention to a couple sections here right at the top. We have the Trending Now section. So this is fonts that are kind of popular in recent times, things people are checking out and liking a lot. We have New Releases, which is a great place to come find, obviously, new stuff that you maybe haven't seen or used before. We're constantly adding new fonts, so definitely check those out. And then, of course, we have Hidden Gems, and Hidden Gems are some of those fonts that maybe don't get, aren't being activated as much as they deserve to be. So you should definitely check out those Hidden Gems. And you might find something in the Hidden Gems that, you haven't seen anyone else use yet. So that can be kind of fun too. So if you're into that kind of thing, I would go and activate some fonts on Adobe Fonts right now, because you'll be able to use them while we get busy with making some gift tags a little later. So definitely check that out. And if you have never checked out the Adobe Fonts Show, definitely go to behance.com/Adobe Fonts and check us out there. I host that show. It's every other week. And we do font related things there as well, similar to today's topic. But all of our stuff is in the work section. So go to the work section, not the live streams. And we have links to all of our previous Adobe Lives there, and we'll announce new ones there as well. So check those out if you're into fonts and type and typography and all that stuff. I know we have a lot of font lovers in the house today, I'm sure. So go check that out. All right. Well, we are going to dive into today's giveaway and kind of work through some stuff. I'm going to show you what we have and what you can do with it, and how you can, just hopefully make some fun gift tag type things. Okay, so when you open the Illustrator file after you download it, this is what you're going to see. And these are the gift tags that I made for you, and I'll show you kind of, I'll take you through each one of them a little bit. You'll notice that on the left side here, we have the same font all the way down, and that was just the font looked great, and that's where I started. And I was going to make them all with that font, but then I made a mirror version on the other side that has different fonts for each one. So that was fun. But this font is Cubano. We can open up that here, and you can see this is Cubano regular. So definitely worth checking out if you don't have Cubano or never used it before. But these are the tags. Now, of course, you could add a to and from to this if you want to. You could add a different message if you want to. All of this text is editable except for this last one here with the little Rudolph nose. because I wanted to add that little thing there. So this is not editable text, but everything else is. And of course, you could just download this font, which is Ronaldo from Chutzpah type. So you can definitely check that out if you want that font. And we'll go through all of that in a little bit. So yes, these hopefully look a little bit unconventional and not like your classic gift tags. If you do design these and then you print this out, this should be the size of a normal sheet of paper that you would get, for a printer. And if you get a cardstock version, you could definitely print these out and they should print within that. And you should be able to just punch a hole in them and use them as gift tags. So you could put whatever text you want on here. You could keep my "Let It Snow" or "Ho Ho Ho" or any of that, or you could add "to and from" or just write "to and from" manually with a pen, old school style. That's also welcome. So do that as you may. So yeah, hopefully some of you have downloaded it before. I see Penny noticed the reindeer nose. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Okay, so before we get too much into customizing these or messing around with them, I just wanted to show you a couple of things. So I created these other artboards, and in your version, there won't be anything over here, but they're here so that you could maybe do the tag vertically if you wanted to, instead of horizontally. So you could move it over, copy it over, and just rotate it. And then of course you could, if you want to leave these as is, you can copy over some and just kind of make your own and mess around with them, however you want to do it. So there's a couple extra artboards in there if you need them. So play with those as you will. So we're going to dive down to this one down here, and I'm just going to go into a little bit of how I made these. So this one is my in progress that you can see here. I've labeled it in progress. And we have, of course, all our layers. We have this blue background, then we have this black, and then we have this, what is this? This is the little white background, and then we have this polka dot pattern. And then we have, of course, the yellow on the top with a stroke around it. And this was a little bit tricky to make, but there's something I want to show you. So I'm just going to copy this. So you could go back to bare bones. You could just copy this whole thing and ungroup the tag if you want to. Like so. Right click, ungroup. And then, okay, here we have all the different pieces that aren't grouped together. And now I can just kind of focus on this one. So I'm going to hide all these other ones. So if you want to, you could just use this as your base tag and make your own tag from scratch if you want to. Or you can follow something similar to what I did. It's totally up to you. But this should be a perfect size to print either on your computer at home or print with if there's a gift tag printer somewhere that prints gift tags. This is the standard size, so you should be able to do this with a template elsewhere as well if you wanted to get them printed. But just print it at home. Go get some cardstock. You'll be set. So this shape, I wanted to create obviously smaller versions of this shape, but I want to show you something right now. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in place. And that way, if I just regular paste it, you see it just pastes somewhere random. But if you right click and paste in place, it does it right on top of where you were. That's huge. So that's a great thing. So now we have these two of the same thing. Now, if I just shrink this down and I'll hold Option so that it shrinks from the middle, I'm going to change the color here. And I want you to notice that the shape isn't equal on all sides. Do you notice that? So if you notice down here, this little black bar around is exactly the same between all sides, but this one is not working. And all I did was shrink it down, and I kept the same proportions, but that's not actually what I wanted. That doesn't seem right. So what can I do with that? Well, there is a way to grab a path and offset path. So this is under Object, Path, Offset Path. And you can actually make it smaller than the original thing. So if I do this at 0, then it's just going to be the exact same size. If I go down, it's going to start shrinking this path, and it's going to create another layer for me of the same exact shape with the proportions that I want. So this offset path is exactly what we want. So I can go -10 pixels and click OK. And now if I turn this to black, you'll see that it's the exact shape that I want. And I'm just going to go back one to the previous version so you can see how much worse it is. So if I go back, that versus this, much better. And that's what I did here. You can see with all these different shapes, making things, using that same shape over and over and over again. I honestly didn't know that until I tried to make these gift tags. So that's another tip for today. Try to make something you've never made before, and you'll probably end up learning tools and tips and tricks that you didn't know existed. So that's another good way to do it. So use the offset path if you want to do something similar to what I did, or just have at it with other shapes. Really useful if you want to do a star within a star or a circle within a circle. Really fast way to do that and just be precise. Obviously with a circle, it's pretty easy to just copy it and shrink it down because the sides are going to be the exact same. But if you have any angles like this, you're going to run into trouble. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that is that. And then I wanted to show you, so I created this, this polka dot pattern, and this actually isn't too hard to do, but it was a little bit tricky. If you notice down here, all of these are straight, but these ones are kind of offset. And this is a tricky part of making a pattern. But you'll notice up here, I kind of created the offset on all sides so that not everything is exactly one straight line. And I'll show you how I did that to get this effect. So this is up here. This is actually not a perfect grid. If I hide this layer, actually, let me hide it down here since I've separated these out. Oh, actually, let me bring back that original. There we go. So I'm going to hide everything except for, actually, I'm just going to hide this top layer. And you'll see that this grid is actually not exactly perfect. I moved the dots a little bit around to make them fit into this. So keep that in mind. That is not an exact match. Oh, no, sorry, not on this one. Let me do that again. So this one is a perfect grid. And when I hide this, you'll see that it's a perfect grid. Everything is perfect. But this one, now if I dive into here, into the tag, and I hide the top of the tag, you'll notice that, and let me hide the text too. Okay, and the nose, oh, so many layers. Okay, you'll notice that I offset the path here and made these closer together, and the same thing up here. Now, that doesn't look very good when I'm just showing you the pattern. But if I bring the stuff that I just hid in front of it again, you'll notice that it actually just looks perfectly acceptable. It looks like a polka dot pattern. And this looks way better than this, which just has this one straight line. Now, obviously, I made this a little bit smaller. But again, if I put this on the perfect path, it just doesn't look as good. So you might run into little things like that when you're working on something similar to this, where the perfect pattern, the perfect symmetrical thing actually doesn't look right. You just kind of got to eyeball it and go with your gut. So that's what I did here. Hopefully it worked out all right. So, do with that as you will. Okay, so the anatomy of these is pretty straightforward. We just have a couple layers of different colors. And then of course I created this pattern. So I'll just show you what that looks like up here. So we have, obviously, we remove our top layer, then we have this pattern, and then we have a kind of a cream-colored off-white color, then we have the black, and then we have the original background color. And I just changed the colors for all of these to give a different vibe. Obviously, the polka dots and this cream color are the same across the board, and then messed around with the different colors, so that gives you a sense there. So, I wanted to show you how we can create a pattern in case you want to do something like this on your own. So we're just going to draw a circle, a simple circle. And let me just zoom in here. And then I can go to Object, Pattern, Make Pattern. And it adds it to your swatches. And anytime I edit it, it edits it wherever I've used that swatch, which is pretty cool. So I can open my pattern options here. Let me move this over. Got my pattern options here. And I can change the different width of this pattern. These aren't linked right now, so I can kind of just stretch it out whichever way I want. Right? But I can also link these so that when I change them, if I make this 20, right? Then it will update the other one accordingly. But of course I can unlink, make these both 20, And then I have a perfect grid. Link it again. And then now if I change one of these, we change the whole grid evenly. Oh, it kind of looks like we're traveling through space or something. Kind of looks cool. Okay, so that's that. And then of course you can change how the overlap happens. We're not overlapping this one, but you could do that. And then you can change what kind of column you have. So you can do 9 by 9, you can do 3 by 3, you can do 5 by 3. Anyways, you can choose these different layouts in terms of the pattern. And also you can choose what type it is. So for my pattern, I wanted them to be offset from each other so that they looked polka dot even when you only saw a little bit. And so I would use these hex, but you'll notice this hex is going up and down the columns, and then this hex does it by row. So I did it hex by row, and I made this a larger, let's see, let's do maybe 9 by 9. No, let's do 5 by 7. So I made it something like this, right? And then I had to offset one of the rows in here. Now, unfortunately, this is hard to do with the pattern. So I made the pattern and then I remade it from scratch, doing a whole different thing. I'll show you how that is done. So because I couldn't manipulate these individually and I couldn't do to the pattern what I wanted to do, I created another little circle, basically the same size. And then for this, I did object and I did repeat. And I opened up the repeat options, and we can do a mirror or a grid. And I repeated I did a repeat grid. Where is that? Repeat. Oh, search so slow. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Okay, I may have crashed Illustrator simply by trying to search. Hold on. Let me try that one more time. Oh, repeat grid. All right, it's not letting me repeat grid at this point, and I'm not exactly sure why. Someone in the audience probably knows why. But, okay, well, I'll come back to that later if I remember it, or if I'm able to do it later, we'll see. Oh, it's because I'm still editing the pattern. There, sorry, get out of the pattern. Now I have that pattern as a swatch, which I will show you. That pattern is now in my swatches. So that's one cool thing about patterns, is that now I can grab this blue thing, this blue tag, and I can use this pattern as a swatch. And now that whole thing is a swatch. Pretty cool. Okay, so I don't actually want this to be a polka dot because it's already a dot. So now I can repeat this. So what I did to make this the way I wanted to is I created a repeat grid, and then I repeated it as, I made it the size that I wanted. And I did one this way, and then I did one vertical, and then I spaced them out so that they looked similar to this, and then I had to offset them to eventually create this look you have here. I hope that all made sense. Grid was definitely being a Grinch. Thank you, Penny. I'm glad you're on my side. And Emily as well, not working with me here. So that's how I created this whole thing. If you want to dive in and mess around with that, you can. So let's get into some of these tags. Now, this is all editable text. So you can come in here and type whatever Christmas message you want. So you could change any of these. We can do, happy holidays. We can do, let's see, what else should we do? If any of you have any holiday messages that you would like me to try out, let me know in the chat. Let it snow. Of course, we have Rudolph. Rudolph. Is that how you spell Rudolph? Rudolph. Okay, let me know if that's Rudolph. I'm pretty sure I have that right. Rudolph. We can do, hell, we can just do Elf. It's a Christmas classic. We can just do that, Elf. And then you can write to and from, whatever you want. But obviously the text is editable. You can also change the font to whatever you want. So I have Cubano in here, and everything down the left side is Cubano. It looks great in this context, but you can mess around with it. And the drop shadow is in effect. So even if you change the font, it won't matter. It'll still work. So we could go with Ronaldo, which I used recently. Where is that? Ronaldo. Let's see. Oh, Ronaldo, because it's a because it's a script font and there's overlap, the stroke is looking a little bit strange. So you would want to turn this into outlines and combine the shapes before you add a stroke to it. In fact, why don't we do that right now since we're here? So we'll turn off the stroke. That already looks better. And then I'm going to create outlines. And then I'm going to use the shape builder tool and just join these shapes together so that they're all one shape. And then now, when I add a stroke to it again, you should see, so now when I add a stroke, we should see that that overlap problem is solved. Yes, that looks much better than it did. Obviously I messed up there, but the text looks great. So you can do that if you need to. If you add a stroke to a script font and it looks a little funky, create outlines, then combine the shapes, then add the whole thing together, and it'll look much better. Also, I used Ronaldo down here for Merry Christmas. So you can change the fonts to anything you want. You can add a message. You can change the message. You can add to and from. In fact, we can do that right now. We can do to, from. I think I like it with the capital. From. Let's do to. This looks great. We'll increase the size there. We can do to and from. We can make that text. Let's do this kind of off-white color so it matches. Good. And then I do like the shadow just because the white doesn't stand out from the background as much. So I'm going to add a drop shadow. I always forget where in the menu this is. So I just type drop and then stylize. Okay. Effect, stylize, drop shadow. There it is. And I like a really harsh shadow for this. So I basically make the blur 0 and make a much smaller offset. That looks pretty good. And honestly, I want this to be 100% opacity and just look like a really dark shadow. So that works there. If we want a little more space here, we can do this and create a little bit more space between. I think that's a little too much. So we can shrink down the space between this here with the kerning adjustment. I'm lowering this down to just bring it in a little bit more. Of course, I could do the opposite. I could avoid having the space and just increase this to my liking. Probably the better way to go. There. That's looking pretty good. Just a little beyond that shadow. There we go. So you can choose whatever fonts you want. Wade just linked to the gift tags again in the description. The version you'll see will have all of these as is, and then of course you can edit them as you want. And again, you'll have these other artboards to copy and paste and mess around, and you can even make a vertical one if you want. The vertical one seemed a little bit harder for getting text on there, but I guess, you know, you could get a little funky with some text. You know, we could do, you know, oh, what happened? Oh, it's just behind. That's what it is. No, text, yes. Happy holidays. And then we can just rotate this. Let's bring this to the front. Oh, this might be in a lower. This is in a lower tag. I'm going to bring this up to here. And now it should be in front. There we go. Make this larger. But they see then it's like, then it's just a sideways tag. And we're just looking at it right side up. So that doesn't actually make any sense. But I guess you could do like maybe, I don't know, do something like this and then have to and from up here. I don't know. That didn't make sense to me, but you know, perhaps you're more creative than I and you can figure that out. So I encourage you to experiment and do as you will. There are no wrong choices here as far as I'm concerned. You know, have at it with these gift tags and do whatever you please. Oh, also, if you do make anything with these gift tags, please tag me on Instagram. It's Benjamin Welch, BenjaminWelch. Oh, wow, I almost forgot the spelling of my own name. On Instagram, and tag Adobe Live on Instagram, and we'll be able to see what you made, because that would be great. And if you actually print these out and put them on gifts, That would be so cool, even if you make your own. But if you use my template and you print something out and put it on an actual gift, it would be really cool to see a picture of that gift. You can also message me on Behance at Adobe Fonts or at Ben Welch on Behance. You'll be able to find me. So it'd be really cool to see that if you don't want to post it publicly and just want to share it. That would be great to see. Okay, so let's see. I just want to check out some of these other fonts we have in here because, you know, that's what I'm all about. So this is New Kansas, a great font, very rounded sans serif. I'm sorry, rounded serif, but I think lovely in this context. Also looks very fun. Serifs can tend to look serious, but if you find a rounded, bold one, they definitely add some more fun, I don't know, a fun lightness. And then this is from Ono Type Co. This is Ono Blazeface. Definitely worth checking out and using. And then this is from Chutzpah, Lone Pine, another great font from Chutzpah, as well as this is Ronaldo down here. I ended up turning this into outlines, but this is Ronaldo from Chutzpah, and this is Lone Pine. Well worth checking out. This is fun because of the nice swashes and yeah, we can take, actually, let's just copy this text. Let's see if we can write something else. Let's write, I think I have an idea, Frosty. The Snowman. Oh, that looks pretty good. Let me just move this. I'm gonna move Frosty over. I like that, although it's overlapping a little too much with this R, so there are different versions of the R, so I could do that, but that doesn't excite me as much as the other one. So I'm just gonna create a little more spacing in here so that they're not clashing together as much. And then that right here. Although I wonder, well, you can mess around with it and see, you know, what speaks to you. But Lone Pine is great, really fun font. Yeah, so for this, obviously pretty simple, but we did Merry Christmas in Ronaldo. In fact, so if you want to recreate Merry Christmas, just sync Ronaldo Avenue from Chutzpah and type Merry Christmas or whatever other holiday message you want to write. Now you'll notice I ended up, I believe, using the italic. Or it did something there. Why is that one slanted? Are there different versions of the exclamation point? That's a really good question. Maybe Ari, if you're in the audience, maybe you can answer that for me. Why is the exclamation point slanted in this version, but not in this version that I just made? Very strange. Huh. Okay, I'm going to move this and we're going to mess around with this a little bit. I'm going to show you kind of how. Is the nose locked? What is happening here? There we go. Okay, got the nose. I found it. Hello, Davis. Hello, Katarina. Welcome. Thank you for joining. We are working on some gift tags. The link to the gift tag template is in the chat. Wade posted it, so definitely check that out. I'm going to lower this down a way lot. Okay. So how I got this all lined up in the previous one, you can see the CH is lined up in there. So I just added some spaces here to the text until it was pretty close, maybe there. And then you can add you can kind of just turn this character over little by little by little by little until it kind of lines up. And then you can shrink the line spacing down. If I grab this, I can shrink the line spacing down. And then I can line it up like so. You can also go to the paragraph and increase the indent of the paragraph until it looks about right. That looks pretty good. So that's how you can recreate that look if you use... Oh, I know why. Is it because I created a little space here? No. I am so confused. What is happening? Why is this one slanted, but this one isn't? This is a mystery for the ages. All right, well, we'll sort that out another time. And then as you can see, instead of using this little eye for the final thing, I turned this all into outlines and erased the tittle. That's called a tittle, by the way. I erased that and replaced it with a little Rudolph nose that is blinking. So, pretty cool. Pretty exciting stuff. And then let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, yes. So, is that glyph not italic? So, I don't know. So here's my confusion. When I go to Ronaldo Avenue, this is set to regular and I don't have an italic version. I'm responding to Clever right now. I don't have an italic version. So I'm confused as to how I got it to look like that. It looks like it fits perfectly. Hold on. I'm going to go to the Adobe Fonts site and see if perhaps Renault. I don't think I can spell live on stream. Okay. We're going to go to Chutzpah's page and then I'm going to find the font. There we go. Redondo. I kept calling it Ronaldo. What is happening? It's called Redondo. And I even knew that. I grew up in LA. What a brain fart. It is Redondo, not Ronaldo. Thank you. Yeah, so there's no... Wait a minute. It's slanted here. How did I do that? This is an utter mystery. Did I change the font for just this one? Oh, this is Myriad. Wow. I changed that one character to Myriad and I have no idea how I did it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. We are back in business. Thank you everyone for bearing with me for that amazing adventure. Wow. Okay, we are back. So here's the text. Everything's looking a little bit closer to how it should. I added a drop shadow just like I did before, which I've done with pretty much all of these. I don't know why the search is so slow for me. Here we go. Drop shadow. Oh, no. I want it on the text. Thank you very much. There we go. Okay. Nice. We're basically all the way there. Oh, Wade, Clever. We've been through this together. Thank you all for being with me as I stumbled my way through this incredible mishap. That was very confusing. I'm glad we sorted it. Much better. I feel back in the holiday spirit now that we've sorted that out. Okay, so let me know if anyone has any questions about what to do with these gift tags. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. I feel like you probably know what to do, but let me know if you have any questions. Also, if you have not checked out Teresa Au's podcast In the Making yet, I would like to encourage you to do so. She has conversations with all kinds of creators about their process and journey, and you can check out In the Making at adobe.ly/inthemaking, or just search In the Making in any podcast app and you'll be able to find it. But well worth checking out. So do that if you have a chance or have a minute or are so inclined. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is have a little fun with exporting this to Express and seeing if I can mess around with it in Express a little bit. How do I want to do this? Okay, I created a blank tag over here so I could do this, but I think I want to do it with this one. So, okay, I'm going to try this live without practice. We're going to see how this goes. So this is tag, oh, also in the grid and the print template, there's a print template you can turn on. Also in the grid, you can turn on the numbers if you want to see which numbers are, I have it locked. If you want to see the number of each one as I have them tagged. That's also in Lone Pine. You can do that. So that's there for you if needed. I'm going to lock that grid again. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to dive into this one here. This is the tag 4B. And I'm going to move it over to a different artboard so that I can print it. I'm going to make sure it's centered here. Oh. I'm going to group this whole tag and center it within the artboard. Align to artboard. Okay, hold on. What am I doing? Oh, I have the whole locked, so I couldn't select it. Wow, there's all these little things like that that are just all over the place. Okay, I'm going to option copy this so we can just leave the original in its place. So I'm just option dragging this whole layer, moving that over here. I'm going to line it up more or less in the center, and then I'm going to go and grab all of these and group them. New tag. I'm going to center them in the artboard. Perfect. So now I am going to hide the letters and nose. Letters and nose. It's confusing with all these layers. Okay. And now I'm going to export what is in this artboard. So if you didn't know this, oh, you can't see this because it's off screen, but I'm going to show you how to do this. So if I do, basically I'm saving for web, and you can see here that I can choose what size I want. I want a 1200 width. So I'm going to increase this size up to something like that, and I can get rid of the background. So this is perfect for exporting into Express if that's something you want to do. So I'm going to export this at 1200 into Express. I did 1200 because I want to print this eventually, and I think it would be nice to keep it at a large size so it's nice and crisp if I decide to do that. But you can see that it grabbed only what was in that artboard and only the layer I had visible, which is exactly what I want. So I'm going to click Save. And I'm just going to save this to the desktop. So this is going to be tag no text. And I'm going to save it to the desktop. Wow, what a great name for a file. Killing it over here. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same, and I'm going to hide the hole for the tag. I'm going to do the same with this text, and I'm going to do it at 1200. So that they all line up again, and I'm going to save. And I'm going to have text no nose. These are the worst names for files ever. Please do not follow my file naming process. And then I'm going to hide that and show the nose. Oh, and hide the tag. And actually, for the nose, I want to show. I want to export these separately so I can have the nose blink maybe in Express. I don't know if that's actually going to work. I actually have not tried this out until now, so we're going to see if this even works. But I'm going to save that. Oh, what did that save as? Did I click cancel? I accidentally clicked cancel. Okay. I'm going to save this as nose, no blink. Wow, worst titles ever. And then I'm going to add the lights, and I'm going to save the lights. 1200. So you can do this too if you want to go through all this work. I think it's going to be worth it. It's going to be great. I'm going to call this lights, no nose. Wow, great stuff. Great stuff. Okay, so I'm going to hide Illustrator. And I'm going to open up Express. And I'm going to your stuff. I'm going to create a new document. I'm actually going to change the size of it. Let's see. What was the size of my... Let's open up desktop. What was the size of my file? Get info. Oh, this is fun. 1200 by 776. Perfect. So now I'm going to resize this. And I'm going to say 1200 by 776. Don't want those linked. Pixels. Yes. Resize. Good. So now my stuff should fit that perfectly. So now I'm going to go to Elements, Media, and I'm going to upload some stuff from my device. So I'm going to pick my... Also, this is a total side tip, but you can change what order things show up from your Finder. And I have this sorted by most recently modified. So everything that I just did on the desktop shows up right at the top whenever I want to upload something to the internet. Very helpful. I don't know if that made sense. I'll show that a little more if people are interested. Robert, this isn't based on an Avery template. So yes, this matches an Avery template perfectly. So yes, I have used Avery templates literally in this project. Okay, I'm going to open this up. Clever. I think this is a brilliant idea. Just give a giant gift tag as the dream gift. I love that. Okay, for some reason, these did not line up correctly. Oh, and I accidentally moved the... I copied the little bit of the nose. Which one is this? Oh my goodness. Okay. All these layers are... I've messed these up a little bit. I think I have to do this. Yes. Okay, we're back in business. I'm moving these around. Trying to get them in the right place. Okay, this is what I wanted to try. I wanted to make the nose blink a little bit. I'm loving these ideas for what to do with tags. Sorry, I was just reading the chat. Penny said, Clever said, make a huge tag and give it as a gift. Penny said, make one big one and attach it to a Christmas tree. I also think it would be really funny to make the hugest tag ever and attach it to the tiniest box. So like if you were giving someone earrings or something in a really tiny little box, you could just have the biggest tag ever weighing the tiny little box down. I think that would be excellent. And a giant gift tag on a car sounds like a great idea. Okay, this is something I wanted to try. I'm going to move this down so that it's close. There we go. I just want to see if I can make this layer blink. And that seems like it would be kind of fun because it's like lights, intensity, speed, loud. Yeah. Oh, that looks fun. I don't know if y'all can see that very well. I'm going to try to zoom in. Yeah. Okay, that was kind of cool. So my thought was you could make this little gift tag and put it in a different thing in Express. This shouldn't be the main thing, but you could use this as a little template and make these little gift tags if you were going to do something like that. Also, I feel like whenever I give a digital gift away, it's never quite the same as giving a real gift. You know, like if you buy somebody a book on Kindle or you buy somebody an Audible book or like a movie on Apple, Apple, like, you buy a digital movie for someone, it's just not the same. But I wonder, maybe we could make it better by attaching a little GIF of this blinking Merry Christmas thing that you made and adding that to the email. That could be huge. I don't know why it only selected that. I think 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just had to fix that. It was off center. It was driving me mad. So maybe we could do little things like this where we attach a gift card for someone, an Amazon gift card or this gift card, or maybe I like buying courses for people on the various, websites that do online courses. And again, it's just never the same. But maybe this would make the email a little bit more fun, you know? It's got the little blinky thing, Merry Christmas. I could add, here's a course for you, or, I could add someone's actual name to this, which could be cool. Yeah, so in fact, let's just add someone's name. I'm going to add some text right now. And I'm using my brother's name. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. But let's pick some more fun. Let's use some of these recommended stuff to find a cool font. Oh, that sounds fun. Merry Christmas, Billy. I like that. Maybe I'll change the color. No, definitely default. Well, let's see. Color. Maybe I'll change it to the red. That could work. Ooh, that's fun, but it doesn't stand out quite as much as I want. Oh, I could always add a drop shadow. No, I wanted to add. Didn't mean to add a shape. Meant to add a shadow. And you can also customize this. I didn't notice that at first, but you can take the blur down, take the angle. Let's see, I want it to be similar to the other one, and the distance. Yeah, and the color, let's make it really dark. Cool. Also, we could try making it white. Oh, that looks fun. I like it. I like this. Okay, get the distance right. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, then let's play our little animation. Merry Christmas, Billy. I think we're onto something here. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is good. I think we should start finding extravagant ways to do digital gifts. So I think printing out a giant tag and then maybe on the back of it you have a little piece of paper that says, here's your redemption code for something, or it's a gift card, digital gift card, or it's a Kindle book or something, and it just has it right on the back of this giant tag. Because they're just not as fun as opening, real gifts. So yeah, that's what I think. Oh, Clever said these could be deconstructed into paper cuts, machine cuts, like circuit. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. That sounds fun. Um, yeah, so I encourage you to mess around with these in Express and mess around with them in Illustrator and see what you can come up with. If anyone else has any other ideas of what we can do here, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions about this. And remember that you can get this template right in the description, and also that every stream at Adobe Live this week is going to be giving away something awesome. So check out as many as you are inclined to do, as many as you can. We love having you here, and it's great to celebrate the holidays and get into the holiday spirit. Okay, so I think I'm going to maybe find some new fonts since we have a few more minutes here. I'm going to go to the main page. And I'm going to see what... Oh, this looks fun. I'm going to check out New Nord. This looks very fun. Nice and crisp. Let's see. Let it snow. This looks actually very good, but I think I want something with a little bit more pizzazz. But if I'm right, this came from Newland. Oh, from Letter Soup. Cool. Let's see what else Letter Soup has to offer, because I do like the look of that font. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Milka. Let's add Milka to the library. Awesome. And then let's mess around with that a little bit. See how it looks. Oh, Illustrator. Oh, clever. It is a cutting machine crafters use, like a printer plotter. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, these could totally be layered with that, and that would actually make them look even cooler if they had layers. I guess you could also print them out each layer separately on cardstock and then cut them and then glue them, and it would be like a layered tag. Maybe that's exactly what you were just talking about, but that could be cool. All right, we're gonna mess around with Milka a little bit and see how that looks. Oh, there's an aged version too. Whoa, that just got crazy. Okay, with the aged version, I think we don't want the stroke. Okay, that's better. And maybe we have to just make it white for now, because it has that color behind it. That actually looks pretty cool. It might be a little too funky, but honestly, it looks kind of like snow, I guess. Doesn't it? Oh, nice, clever double-sided foam tape for dimension. I like that. I was always a really big fan of dioramas, you know? And the clever ways people would give the sense of dimension, even if things were really, really close together. I love that, like, perspective stuff on things really small. Yeah, dioramas are cool. That's something I would like to learn to make someday, making some dioramas. That would be awesome. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. Although I think this looks maybe a little too grungy, if that's the right word. So let's look at the other versions of Milka and see what we have. We have soft. That might be good. Let's do Milka soft. See how that works. Ooh, I like that a lot. That looks really fun. And that matches the kind of vibe of this whole thing. Also, I love this little T. That's a great T. Kind of want to try that down here too and see what it looks like. Milka soft. Yeah, it looks great. That looks super fun. So yeah, mess around. Go find some good fonts on Adobe Fonts. Come on here. Try different things out. We have Frosty the Snowman. I'm going to, what else do I want to try for Frosty? Let's see. Let's go to all fonts. Let's find something kind of funky. Oh, I guess I'll use the funky tag. There's a surprise. Oh, for Frosty. Here we go. Double base, Zeta fonts. Add. Oh, this is kind of off kilter. That seems fun. Oh, we could definitely use a variable font, I think. Oh, there's no funky tag variable fonts. Got it. Although there should be. So we'll get that fixed because this looks funky right there. Variable fonts. Oh yeah, this is a fun one. Add family. This is BD caramel variable. All right, let's try that. So I'm going to make this text this cream color. And then I'm going to look for BD. Oh, I gotta wait for that to come in. BD caramel. All right, that does not want to activate right now, which is throwing me off. There it is. Awesome. So now I can go to the properties for this variable font. And I forgot where I hid that. I don't like a lot of things in my menu sticking out. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Under here. There, found it. So we can check this out. We can go no bubble or add full bubble. And I think full bubble is the way to go. I'm going to rotate this back so that it's kind of back to normal. And then I'm going to make this way bigger. And I'm going to bring the text closer together. And I think that's going to look pretty good. Oh, there we go. That looks really fun. Can you read it okay? I think you can read it okay. What do you guys think? Yeah, BD caramel variable, super fun. The bubble parameter is adorable, let's be honest. Also, oh, wouldn't it be fun to kind of animate this a little bit? That's what I mean. We have to find a way to make email gift cards more fun. All right, that's a task I leave you all with for the rest of this holiday time. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Adobe Live's Holiday Week. Please stick around. We have making swag pins for the holidays with Emily Poulin next. You don't want to miss it. She'll also have a great giveaway, and there's going to be giveaways all week long. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic holiday. It was great to be with you. And yeah, definitely send me a message on Behance if you make any giant tags or small tags or any tags at all with this stuff. It would be so cool. Thank you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.